Hi, everyone. My name is Dylan, co-founder of PeakBot. Thank you for being here. Excited to share a little bit more about our wheel strategy, a very well-known, time-tested option selling strategy that we've chosen to automate here for PeakBot. So we're going to get into things now. Assuming you've watched our Options 101 video, we're going to assume that you know what a put is, what a call is, deltas, expirations, etc. If you have questions on that while watching this video, please do not hesitate to contact us. We can hop on a call and help you walk through anything you might need. So let's get into it. I'm going to pull up a diagram here, and we're going to go through the wheel strategy. So with PeakBot, we have two different versions of the wheel. Very important to know. We have the naked wheel, and we have what's called the vertical wheel. Now, I'll just say from the top, the vertical wheel is far more popular amongst our traders. Why? Because you're more protected. We are selling credit spreads with the vertical wheel, as opposed to the naked wheel or unhedged wheel. We're selling simply cash secured puts and covered calls. So the credit spreads, much safer, provides more protection and more upside. So let's get into how this works. When we take a look at this diagram here with the wheel strategy, we're going to start at the top. Now, you'll see your two options, either the cash secured put or the put spread, put credit spread. We're going to talk through the spread version of this, and there's always going to be more information available on the naked wheel. So we start by selling puts. If you do not own the shares of the stock, the wheel is going to open up a put for you. Okay, so we're going to start with our put credit spread. And when we do so, the wheel actually enters on Mondays or Tuesdays. And a quick note, what we're looking for when you go to our watch list, we're looking for a stock that is trending either neutral or bullish. Okay, this is not necessarily great for a stock that is in a bear trend. All right, we're looking for the stock to stay relatively flat or go up. But we can be a little bit wrong. Even if it goes a little bit down, we can still win, which is the beauty of this strategy. So the wheel enters on Mondays or Tuesdays. If the market was closed on a Monday or you forgot to add it, you can get it in on Tuesday. The timing of that is between 11 o'clock Eastern and 1 p.m. Eastern. We like the market to settle in a little bit. We don't necessarily want to enter these contracts right when the market opens at 9:30. We like giving it some time to breathe and entering right around 11 a.m. And the contracts actually are set to expire weekly. So every Friday that's when that contract is going to expire at market close. So opens Monday, expires Friday. There's also an entry point on Tuesdays. Obviously, if you don't get open until Tuesday, you'll earn slightly less premium because it's a shorter contract, but it's always going to expire Friday. If you expire in the money, you're going to get assigned shares, which I'm going to talk through on this diagram here very shortly. If you expire out of the money, you don't get assigned shares, and the next week you're going to sell another put. So let's take a look at that on this diagram here. Again, starting at the top, we're selling a put credit spread. When you open that up, you're going to immediately earn premium. On average, when you take a look at our watch list, premium earned weekly is going to be somewhere between 0.25% to 2%. Let's call it about 0.5% to 0.75 on average. Okay. And that's on the cash. That's based on the premium you're earning versus the cash needed if you were to be assigned those shares. Okay. So every single contract you open, you're going to earn premium. Now, at the end of the contract, if you are not in the money and you don't get assigned the shares, meaning you stayed above your sold strike price, you will not be assigned, and you will immediately, the following week, do exactly the same thing, sell another put credit spread or cash secured put. That's the best case scenario because we collect our premium, we wipe our hands clean, no shares to worry about. That happens 70% of the time. Just so you know, the wheel win rate for the vertical wheel is roughly 70% because we're selling the 30 delta. And we'll get into that a bit more as we go. Now, option two, if you do get assigned your shares for the vertical wheel, if you get assigned your shares, that means you finished in between your two strike prices. You finished in between that sold 30 delta and the bought 10 delta. That's the only scenario in which you will be assigned shares on the vertical wheel. And when we say you get assigned, what that means is you're buying 100 shares of the stock at your sold strike price. And when I say you're buying, I mean the bot. The bot's doing all of this for you. Don't get lost on that. We're showing you what's underneath the hood here, but the bot is taking care of all of this for you. So again, 70% of the time, you're not going to be assigned the shares and you're going to sell another put the following week. 30% of the time, roughly, you will get assigned the shares. If that's the case, the bot will recognize that you've been assigned the shares, and the following week on a Monday or Tuesday, it will enter a call credit spread, or if you're running the naked wheel, it'll sell a covered call for you. But again, if you have the ability to trade spreads, makes sense to do so, not financial advice. So when we enter into our call spread, what deltas now, and it changes slightly, we actually sell the 50 delta and buy the 20 delta. Why do we do this? Obviously, the 50 delta is a bit closer to the money, but you're earning more premium. The way we have the wheel set up is when you get assigned the shares, obviously you're opened up to some more risk, because if that stock continues to fall, so will your unrealized loss on that position. So we want to make sure that we're collecting more premium for you while you hold those shares. So we're going to sell the 50 delta, collect more premium, and we actually buy back the 20 delta to partake in the upside. If that stock moves up roughly 10% that week, you're going to be earning a lot more premium by buying that 20 delta back. By the way, that 20 delta actually will close, that leg of the contract will close on Friday around between 10 and 12 Eastern. So now that you own the shares, you're going to sell your call spread, you're going to collect your premium, and if at the end of the week, same contract length, opens Monday, expires Friday, if you don't get assigned your shares, which now, since we're selling the 50 delta on the call credit spread, you're going to keep those shares roughly 50% of the time. Okay. So if you don't get assigned, meaning you sell your 100 shares because it finished above your sold strike price, then you're going to hold on to those shares again, okay, for the following week and sell another call credit spread. If you do get assigned, meaning the stock finished above your sold strike price, above that 50 delta strike price, you're going to sell 100 shares. The shares will be assigned away, and then you start back at the top. You no longer have the shares, and the following week, you're back to the top selling a put credit spread or a cash secured put. What I think I should cover now quickly is the difference between the vertical wheel, where we're selling the spreads, versus the naked wheel, where we're just selling cash secured puts or covered calls. So when we take a look at the naked wheel, and you'll see this represented on our watch list, just remember there's different tabs on the watch list. If you're looking for the naked wheel, it's about the second or third tab in. So when we're selling a cash secured put, the deltas change very slightly. We don't have two strike prices now. We just have one. There's no hedging our bet here. There's no stop loss. We are selling the 25 delta for our puts, okay? A cash secured put sells the 25 delta. And it's the same effect here with the wheel. For a cash secured put, if you finish underneath your strike price, you're going to get assigned your shares. The only difference is with the naked wheel, it's called naked for a reason. You're exposed. If it falls underneath that sold strike price, 25 delta, regardless of what it drops to, you're going to buy those shares. You're going to end up getting assigned those shares at your strike price, regardless of what it falls to. So there's more exposure there. So always be careful selling naked puts or calls. Again, same process. Once you own the shares, if you get assigned on the call side, it's also selling the 25 delta. Significantly different from the vertical wheel where we're selling spreads. So for the naked wheel, we're selling the same delta on both sides, both the put and the call. For the naked wheel, our win rate is roughly 75%. And if you haven't picked up on this, the delta is relatively equal to your percentage And if you flip it, right? So if you're selling the 25 delta, that means there's roughly about a 25% chance that you end up in assignment buying those shares, which means on the flip side, you're going to win 75% of the time. All right. So keep that in mind. Win rate for the naked wheel is slightly higher. You're earning more premium because you're not hedging your bet, but there's far more exposure to the downside. So that pretty much covers it. If there are additional questions, please let us know. Contact us anytime. That's everything you need to know about the wheel strategy. Thank you so much.